Well, hello there, and today we're doing La Liga predictions. Yes, we're spicing it up a bit. We're not going to be doing Bundesliga this week, just have a week off, and we'll come and reassess and do week 24 predictions of the Bundesliga at some point, and then we'll look back on my week 22 predictions for that. But we're going to dip into a bit of Spanish football, week 25 predictions for the La Liga, and it all kicks off tomorrow with a rearranged game that was supposed to be played match day 1 between Barcelona and Elche. Now, Barcelona, they really are a good team on their day, but they want to be keeping up their consistency, and they haven't been doing that because they are sitting in fourth. Failure is not an option for a club of that size, and they've been struggling in the Champions League. Obviously, got battered by Paris Saint-Germain, and that was embarrassing stuff, but they've got to probably focus now on the league to climb up and join the likes of Real Madrid and Atletico at the top. But they do face Elche, who are, of course, struggling in 18th right now. Yeah, I just think this is going to be very, very comfortable. Barcelona 3, Elche 0. And the goals for Barcelona will be coming from, first of all, let's say it will be from the midfielder that is Frenkie de Jong. And then the second goal for Barca, let's say Jordi Alba. And the final goal to seal off a good night's work, it's from Antoine Griezmann. Alright, now we've got the matchup in the La Liga match day of Levante versus Athletic Bilbao. And it's an interesting game. Friday night kickoff, 8 o'clock this coming weekend on the Friday. And Levante come into this off the back of quite a decent game against Atletico Madrid. When I say quite a decent, I mean very good. Because to beat the top team, it's impressive. It was an own goal in there from Mario Hermoso, which doesn't bode well for me, because I have Mario Hermoso in my Champions League fantasy team. He better not score an own goal. That's all I'm going to say in the game with Chelsea. But I want him to score at the right end, and I want Levante to take that result and just look at themselves and say, yes, you can be a good team. With a result like that, that was very, very impressive. And they're currently sitting, Levante, in a decent position of 8th. If they can push for the top 6, then you never know. It would be impressive. But obviously, the way that the season stats and the table works is 5th place is Europa League group stage. And you can basically guarantee that if you can get in that position. So that's taken up by Real Sociedad, which is a little bit of a gap for Levante, 10 points, but ultimately I think they have the quality to do it if they can just get a bit more consistent. So I'm going to say that Levante do in fact get 3 points here. I'm going to say Levante 2 and then Athletic Bilbao 0. And now we've got Eibar against Huesca. Now Eibar are coming into this off the back of a very poor defeat, whereas Huesca are coming off the back of a win. So Huesca, maybe all fear and all hope is not lost. There's only 3 points between these two teams, and it's a massive one. But it is at Eibar, so maybe Huesca will have a problem there. But, there's no fans, so there's no home advantage. I think Huesca will get another win. Let's say Eibar 0, Huesca 1. And then it's Sevilla versus Barcelona. Massive game for the top 4, and maybe even for the title, because ultimately, if Barca can get wins like these against teams around them, they could get themselves back in the title conversation. And we know that Barca are lethal on their day, but they just have lost too many games this season. Whereas Atletico have lost only 2. So, yeah, I'm going to say Barcelona to bounce back from the disappointing draw in the last game. But we will say in this game that Barcelona narrowly get the win, and it will be Sevilla 1, Barcelona 2. And then we have a game between Alaves and Osasuna. Now, Alaves come into this in a fairly worrying position of 16th, whereas Osasuna are fairly more comfortable in 13th. But there's only 3 points separating them, so it actually could be tighter on the day. And I think that for that reason, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between these two teams. Then it's Getafe versus Valencia. Now, Getafe always seem to be punching above their weight a little bit. Recently, though, the 4 defeats on the bounce hasn't exactly been ideal, and they've just got a little bit of a disciplinary problem. 2 red cards in the last 4 games. But I'm going to edge towards Getafe to just start to show signs of improvement. Not necessarily massive improvement, but they get a point here, and they'll just probably part the bus, be stubborn, and frustrate Valencia. Valencia, obviously, very much looking to push for themselves to get in that top half, at least top 10. But at the minute, it's a bit up and down from one week to the next. I'll say it's going to be Getafe 0, Valencia 0. Then it's going to be Celta Vigo against Real Valladolid. Now, Celta Vigo, they're ultimately a team that have actually got good players. Like, when I look at their team, they really should be doing better. Iago Aspas, what a player. He's just quality. And they've even got people like, Renato Tapia and Nolito and Santi Mina. Like, there's so many good players there, but they are struggling to gel them, maybe. But they are still a good team, and I think they will eventually get that sorted out. So I'll say Celta Vigo 2, Real Valladolid 0. Then it's Cadiz against Real Betis. Now, obviously, I do think that Real Betis did get an absolute steal by getting Nabil Fekir, but ultimately, that team should be doing better. They're still only in 7th, but 2 wins on the bounce will give them the confidence they need to try and pip Villarreal and get in front of Real Sociedad if they can. And these are the kind of games against Cadiz that they should be winning. Cadiz are in 14th, and they are pretty much out of form. Minus 19 goal difference, 40 conceded is not good at all. So, yeah, I think that Cadiz will once again be struggling to sort out that leaky defence, and it will be Cadiz 0, Real Betis 3. Then it's Granada versus Elche. Now, Granada are actually having a great season, 30 points, 9th place, they're comfortable, and they're actually pushing for Europe. And, they have an absolute wonder kid, Domingos Quina, in their ranks. But no, seriously, they do have an interesting matchup this week with the team in Elche who, I think at the start of the season, they probably would have taken 18th right now. But there are a lot of teams that are on, similar points. Eibar, Alaves, Getafe only 3 points away. So it's a desperate one for Elche, but they did get their win in the last match day. Massive one against Eibar. And thanks to Danny Calvo, they got it over the line. But they got to just keep on doing it, basically, because otherwise they will be relegated to the second division. But this is a game where Granada surely will get the 3 points. So Granada 2, Elche 0. Then it's Villarreal versus Atletico Madrid. And Villarreal also, a bit like Celta Vigo, when you look at your team, you're thinking, come on, this team should be pushing for top 4. And they are, to be fair, only 10 points behind. And they're struggling for wins. And ultimately, defensively, they've actually been not too bad. But they've not scored enough goals. So I'd say that right now Villarreal have to find that talisman up front. And they got the draw against Bilbao last time. Gerard Moreno with the goal early on, but it got cancelled out by Alejandro Berenguer Romero or Ramiro. But yeah, Villarreal, I think they will just have to see this one past them. It's a tough game against the leaders. Villarreal 0, Atletico Madrid 4. I was about to say 3, but I'm sticking with 4. Atletico, we know, can score goals. And, they're going to do that here. So, Atletico will get their goals. And it will be through, first of all, let's say, Angel Correa. And then it will be through the forward, that is Luis Suarez. And then it will be a goal from, let's say, Koke. And then another goal from Savic. I think that's 4, if we can count. But anyway, you get the gist of it. So, next game to predict is going to be between Real Madrid and Real Sociedad. And that wraps up the predictions. So, it's a tough game to predict this one. The two Reals against each other. It's a little bit of a derby, I suppose, in that respect. And ultimately, they've actually been, fairly close in the last few seasons. And Real Sociedad have been doing better this season. With 3 wins on the trot, they're looking for that European spot. Real Madrid, obviously looking for the title, but they're only 3 points off, so They're still very much within a shout. And I don't know. It's the kind of game that I think it could be tighter than people think, just because of how big of a profile Real Madrid are. They don't recognise that Real Sociedad have a bit about them. So maybe Real Sociedad can even get a draw here. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be brave. And I'm going to be saying it's going to be 2-2 in this one. And it's going to be absolute stormer scored by Real Sociedad by Porto. But then Real Madrid will equalise. And it's going to be, once again, Marco Asensio. Sociedad go ahead again. And it's the man that, of course, scored in that win over Cadiz. It's Alexander Isak. And then, finally, Real Madrid have the last laugh, have the 2-2 draw. And because of their goal, they will be very much taking it. They will be very much pleased with themselves. And it will be a goal that comes, at the end of the day, from forward Karim Benzema. And that wraps up my predictions for match day number 20... Is it 25? Yeah. Along with that Barcelona game that was rearranged, of course. So I hope you have enjoyed this new video. And the song of the week for this week, for Bundesliga, for Liga, sorry. I always get those two mixed up. Just because you got La Liga in there and you got Bundesliga and, you know. But no, the song of the week will be, for me, a song that is very much in my head when I think of Spain, and that is Despacito. Come on, Despacito. Despacito. So that's the song. And the colour of the week is going to be, of course, yellow. And the theme of the week, I'm feeling a little bit of... It's going to be forests. That's right. Forests, rainforests, and all that which is tropical. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.